Viewers, first up, the NEET-UG 2026 paper leak investigation is deepening, with the CBI making fresh arrests and also expanding its probe into the alleged leak network. Pune-based biology lecturer Manisha Gurunath Mandhare has now been arrested by the CBI. Investigators claim she was part of the NTA's paper setting process and allegedly had access to botany and zoology questions that later appeared in the examination. And according to the agency, Mandhare allegedly conducted special coaching sessions at her Pune residence, where selected students were reportedly asked to note down important questions and mark relevant portions in textbooks ahead of the exam. The CBI also alleges that lakhs of rupees were collected from students in exchange for leaked papers, with candidates allegedly mobilized through accused Manisha Gurunath. And meanwhile, Delhi's Rouse Avenue Court has granted CBI custody of multiple accused, including Manisha Gurunath Mandhare, as investigators continue questioning those linked to the suspected leak network. The teams have also carried out searches at locations linked to accused Shubham Khairnar as the agency tracks the alleged money trail and wider distribution network. And the controversy has now triggered a sharp political confrontation, with Congress leader Rahul Gandhi accusing the centre of failing NEET aspirants and demanding accountability over the paper leak row. Well, viewers, this is the biggest controversy. In the last 48 hours, many more accused have been arrested, and some of them, including 2 teachers, were the masterminds of this alleged paper leak. And these 2 teachers, lecturers, one chemistry and the other a biology teacher, leaked the questions that were to be asked in the exams well before the exams in a special class to the students studying in their coaching institutes. And after that, the questions were also made viral on Telegram, which was then flagged, and a paper leak controversy erupted. Now, to help us understand what this really means, we have Professor C.B. Sharma, educationist, joining us live on this broadcast. A very good afternoon to you, Professor Sharma. How do you look at, teachers themselves leading students, in the wrong path? And you can clearly call them cheaters because they have leaked the questions, sir. How do you look at this? A teacher who is part of the NTA question setting panel leaking the questions just before the exam, and then you have the education minister saying that we are tightening the noose. I mean, this is a very, very templated response.
You have put me in a very difficult situation, I must say. You say that how do you rate these teachers? I'll have to start by asking you, are they teachers? Were they well trained to be teachers? Your national education policy in 15.2 says there are 10,000 colleges which sell degrees and for no teaching learning at their centers, and they would be closed. Have they been closed? You are awarding degrees to them still, the B.Ed and the M.Ed degrees, and they are still teachers. So don't tell me they are teachers. They are not teachers. Preparing teachers is a difficult job, which we have not done in all these years and decades. The National Council for Teacher Education has squarely failed. Your NEP 2020 said in 2020 that they would be closed. In all these 6 years, you have not been able to close them. Why? You said that you will create Higher Education Commission of India, HECI, shutting down University Grants Commission. You have not been able to do that. And you are asking me that your teachers can do this. I'm ashamed of being a teacher today because of the activities of these. But they're not teachers, let me tell you. They have got a degree by giving money. And if they do it, which your policy accepts in 15.2, go and read that.
Students, their own students, to follow the alleged shortcuts, Professor Sharma, that yes, they could have probably used in getting their own degrees. But, when an NTA paper setter leaks the questions, how deep does this nexus really go in the institution that is, its very purpose is to ensure a free and smooth examination process. But here we have a compromised paper setter within the system.
Exactly. Now, because you had, triggered my emotions and said these are teachers, I reacted on being a teacher and how is a teacher prepared in our country and what needs to be done. NCT needs to be completely, shut down and a new organization set up. Similarly is the case of National Testing Agency. The National Testing Agency was not set up. I am privy to the debates and discussion in the ministry when we had decided that this organization will only conduct online tests. Suddenly we gave it the assignment of conducting paper pencil test, for which it has no bearable. It doesn't have that expertise. And at the top of it, assessment evaluation is a technical job. You have a technical person who does it. And obviously, a teacher has to understand how questions are set up, how they are compiled. No one person compiles a question paper. We have thousands of people giving items which someone compiles and then creates a question paper. Nobody on the earth, not even the chairman of NTA, not even the DG of NTA would know what is the question paper. But you have not done that because you are not a professional body. You have created a bureaucratic body. I have been questioning again and again and again. 2024, you had a similar case, and it was said that it will have a surgery. You did not do it. Now in 2026, this happens, and now you know that this Biwal family had 4 children qualifying medical last year, 2025. Now it is apparent that the 2025 exam was also compromised. The NTA has squarely failed. You do not have a person who is a professional in assessing and evaluation. You must do a surgery about it. Remove the Director General and put somebody who understands assessment evaluation, which is held on a nationwide scale. You had the IITs doing it 10 years back, and never was question papers leaked. CBSE did it. The medical test was done by the CBSE, and it did it so well. It was suddenly given to NTA. It was not required. You should have given other exams which were new to the system to do it. But you gave all the old exams as well, the JEE, the NEET. Why did you do it? My take on it would be NTA is not really an organization set up with the expertise to conduct such exams. Do a surgery. Do a surgery. I will have to say that because it's not just an image and impression of the country. Don't forget, hundreds and thousands of your doctors work abroad. When you say that our degrees are compromised, we admit
Professor
those who are
Sharma, my
not.
question was around that itself. See, when you have, people using shortcuts to become doctors, then what happens to, the state of the art healthcare that we speak about? Because doctors who are, qualified after paper leak, they are nothing but quacks.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. That it's not only in your country. Don't just think that your doctors are, not qualified, not eligible to treat you, or they are not doctors. I will tell you, when we wrote in our NEP 2020 in 15.2 that there are 10,000 B.Ed colleges which do not undertake any teaching learning and they sell degrees. Hundreds and thousands of teachers teaching abroad were asked to get a certificate from India that this institution is not included in those 10,000. Now, what would you do with the doctors? They will also be asked, were you admitted to a college after all this? Now, what do you do? My very serious suggestion would be do a very thorough assessment and evaluation of the NTA organization itself, revamp it. Don't be stubborn. The, it has come to our notice again and again that a bureaucrat, an IS officer, cannot really manage this organization. Prime Minister has said on the floor of the House, ये बाबू सब मैनेज करेंगे क्या, ये सब जानते हैं क्या, ये वाटर रिसोर्स मिनिस्ट्री भी चलाते हैं, ये एग्रीकल्चर भी चलाते हैं, इनको सब पता है, आप ये जानते हैं, you know this. And still you have a bureaucrat heading all such organizations which are professional organizations. I would strongly suggest put a person who understands assessment evaluation and things will set right.
So Sharma, even those who have passed and come out in flying colors by pure merit, even their credibility is under test. Let me also bring in Professor Kapil Kumar, veteran educationist. Sir, how do you look at the NEET scam, and in the aftermath, you see the very teachers who are supposed to guide their students in the right path have taken them, down a very, very sinister path by leaking the very question paper that was meant to decide the fate of 23 lakh students.
See, this is third time on the your channel. I want to repeat that this is nothing less than educational terrorism. This is an educational terrorism being created, and as Professor C.V. Sharma has been pointing out, that this kind of a thing which is going on, it is not just the NEET or National Testing Agency, but the entire medical private system which has emerged in the country because of the mafia and of the moneyed power, that needs to be investigated. I have been saying this, that capitation fee, I raised this question way back in 2010, and I had to pay a heavy price for that. CB knows that. I had to pay a very heavy price of that. When I had went even to the High Court, when the UGC has removed that word deemed to be from the universities and given, and I won that case in the High Court, and my own Vice Chancellor started inquiries against me, a corrupt Vice Chancellor. Similarly, the question comes how much faith we have in CBI. I've seen in academics, all those who have been, their houses have been raided, documents have been found, arrested, put to trial in CBI courts, and then again, with their inferences, they move out. The question is not just of bureaucracy. Now, all these who have been caught are teachers. My question is, why isn't the CBI investigating those who recommended the names of these papers to be paper
Because,
setters?
because, sir, they're all sitting in positions of power, and you can't go after people
That is what
in
I'm
positions of
saying.
power. And today, even
That
Rahul Gandhi has said that,
you don't
Dharmendra
bring in that
Pradhan.
rascal. Don't bring in that rascal.
Haha.
What right he has to say? I
No, sir,
don't want
but
politics
but
inside.
he has
Not
said that
me.
Dharmendra Pradhan
Politics.
is responsible for back-to-back leaks under his,
Sir,
under his nose,
politicians,
2024
such
and now
politicians
2026.
should keep their dirty hands away from educational like sacred thing. What does he? I don't want bring in Rahul Gandhi. I don't want to hear his name. What is he done to corruption in Congress? Did he resign? Did he resign from the scams? He's asking other resignations. Keep these politicians away. And this is what I appreciate of your channel, that you don't bring politicians on debate in such crucial issues, in relation to that. So don't bring politicians in, sir, please. And
But
resignations will not solve the purpose. One will go, other will come.
other will come. It's the same
It is the
case
system
with
which has to
a
be
different leader.
taken
That's what
care
you're
of
trying
in
to
that
say,
sense.
sir. But, but, sir, how dangerous is
Sorry,
this
I got angry,
nexus?
but I don't want to hear this Rahul Gandhi's name in this debate.
Okay, sir, let's keep Rahul Gandhi out of the picture. But, should the government now consider scrapping the existing exam architecture and start it from the scratch once again? Because that has been the long pending demand of students and many others as well.
See, I am saying this aspect again and again. Entire this NTA has no permanent people there. There are only deputationists or ad hoc appointees, and none of them is responsible. So first thing, my question is not the worry at the moment this paper leakage only. I want to look at in totality, that in future this doesn't happen. So the first thing is either to finish NTA or reconstruct NTA. And secondly, there should be a CBI inquiry into NTA's many other exams also. I can name you exams that there are centers after centers under NTA. In my own university, IGNU, I have seen this, that things were handed out to NTA for recruitment. How come from one center so many people qualify? The other center is out. All this thing is going on. Money leakage, passes, influence, and all this has been moving on that. You find people appointed as computers operators who can't even open a computer. Let me tell you that. So first thing is to do there, tackle there. Second thing is that this whole question of examination system has to be relooked into. Even I am totally opposed to this. What is this objective type questions will come. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a tick at the correct one. That is the easiest then for copying, for leaking out and all, because here the brain is not to be applied.
That's right.
You are not testing the creativity or knowledge of the students in terms of details. You are only asking tick mark, tick mark, tick mark. We remember we had opposed this very strongly in the open learning system when this thing was introduced over there, and they were talking this. And this is a foreign, I tell you, conspiracy. I have always said that against the Indian brain. These kind of answer in 10 lines, answer in 5 lines. Everyone right. If you answer in foreign write the foreign policy of India. It was punchy, it was this. Where is the critical analysis? Don't we need a critical analysis for these exams, or only we have to ask of A plus B equal to C? A lot of thinking has to go into it. And secondly, they have to bring in people not only in positions, but also in investigation. Also, CBI should also interact with people who know the grass reality.
That's right, sir. And this has
And I'll tell
exposed.
you what will CBI, what will happen.
Yes, sir.
I am
Please go
telling
ahead.
you with my experience. Few months back, only CBI was doing another medical scam. Okay, of the recognition of some medical private institutions and all that. CBI was doing that, and CBI conducted raids on that. I know the person on whose house that raid was made was a former chairman of NEC and UGC and a former vice chancellor. DP Singh, I named that criminal. But what CBI has done against him? He's scot-free. He's today the chairman of Tata Institute of Social Sciences. And if such corrupt are encouraged in this system, then what is going to be happening?
That's right, sir. There's a
care
deep
for our
rot in the system, and this also exposes the nexus, the unholy nexus between educators, coaching
It has
institutes,
been always
and
exposed,
even
sir.
exam
It has been-
insiders.
My question is, what happens after exposure?
Nothing, sir. There's
Yes,
a
that's what
token
I'm saying.
condemnation that is
Simply
issued,
saying
token
that
statement
exposure
comes in
is
from the
doesn't-
top brass, and then nothing
Simply-
really happens. A year later, there's another
This is
paper
simply-
leak.
simply
24 we
saying
saw
that
paper
it is
leak.
exposed.
26
This doesn't
again
make
we
any
saw
sense.
another leak.
This is like saying every time Saboot mil gaya, Pakistan's hand is behind terrorism.
It's like Operation Success, but the patient died, sir. This is the state of affairs.
There is corruption in the education system. Everyone knows that.
That's right.
Everyone knows that.
Professor Sharma, we've unfortunately run out of time, but a quick question from you. What happens to the psyche of students, of those lakhs of students who prepare, diligently? What happens to them? Because they have to do a re-examination now. It's like starting back from the scratch.
Look, you have no way to go back on it. You will have to conduct a re-examination because now everything is known that it was a first exam. It is not a fair exam, so you will have to give a re-evaluation. But my question is deeper. That we just cannot say by saying we are sorry, right? How would you compensate to those parents whose children committed suicide? Don't look at them as their children. I, as a teacher, look at every student as my child, and I'm pained today that some children have lost their lives. You will have to create a foolproof system. I'm not going to pardon. I cannot say just pardon them because they didn't know. Highest punishment must be given. Nobody is punished for the 2024 leaks. Why? You ask this question. Let the Prime Minister himself ask, who is punished for 2024? Who will be punished for 2025 now that we know the 2025 NEET exam was also compromised? And some heads must roll, as Prime Minister said, in the NCRT case. No head rolled. Just giving a statement to the nation that some heads will roll and nothing happens.
Professor Sharma and Professor Kapil Kumar, at the end of the day, it is the fate of 24 lakh students that hangs in the balance. And these people in positions of power, they don't really care what's happening. And I hope that our conversation resonates in the corridors of power and some sort of action will be taken. Not with these teachers, but but the NTA head who's sitting there and who has said that our vehicles that transport these question papers are all GPS enabled. But your GPS enabled systems, unfortunately, I'm really sorry to say this, it's not foolproof. So with that, Professor.
Let me say one line.
Yes, sir.
I totally agree with Professor Sharma that they are our children. But at the same time, we have to take care also that this market which is there for paper leakage, how to end this market also. Why do parents give children their money to buy these papers? Why do students line in a queue to buy these papers? So it is both sides.
So this is a wake-up call for the parents as well, Professor Kapil Kumar.
Who suffers in this is the real student. The real student suffers.
That's right, sir.
Hard-working students suffer. But these parents and such students also should not be left out. You have to close down this market of education mafia. Unless you close down the market.
End-to-end, every single stakeholder, every single player must be completely shut out. That's the clarion call. Professor C.B. Sharma and Professor Kapil Kumar, thank you for this insightful conversation.